Hello, hello. Okay, let's see. What's up, guys? Let's dive in to Google Ads because we have a lot to discuss, a lot to explain, because in the previous Google Ads video, maybe I didn't go as in depth or explain things. I don't really remember, but I really kind of want to go into things more, explain things more, because I get a lot of questions on this. This is probably my number one question that people book free calls for. So let's just dive into Google Ads. Okay, so we're going to start with, let's put me down here. So here's what I'm at so far today, guys. Let's look at yesterday. So you'll see I have my metrics at the top: cost per conversion, conversions, conversion rate. And we're going to get into the conversion rate in just a minute. So I'm going to explain why it says 12.5% conversion rate right now and why it says $93 per conversion. Okay. So just pump your brakes. What I want to get into first is deep diving into the campaigns and kind of explaining what ClicksGeek did for me and what you should be doing if you do this yourself to understand the complexities of Google Ads. So I have my daily budget set to, let's go to campaigns. So realize campaigns are going to be generally one campaign will cover one pretty good sized area. I have it split up into 3 campaigns because LA is pretty big and Ventura is outside of LA. So I have a Ventura campaign, an LA campaign, and a San Fernando Valley campaign. As you can see, I have it set to $1,000 a day on both San Fernando Valley and Ventura, but that's because it never hits nowhere near that. The search volume is limited in those areas. The most Ventura will ever hit is $300 a day. The most San Fernando will ever hit is like $200 a day. LA, I've capped out at about, I'll change that to 700. It'll sometimes it'll say that's the max search volume, sometimes 1,000. I thought there would be more in LA, but surprisingly, for some reason there's not. It might be because I have to bid more because the competition is more fierce. I might have to pay more per conversion. I could have too many negative keywords where I'm not showing up for a lot. There's a lot of different factors. $1,000 kind of like the max that I'm able to spend in LA, surprisingly, but I think there's a lot room for more. It's needed to dig into why. Now, guys, we're just going to dig into the LA campaign, okay? So when you go into an LA campaign, you're going to have ad groups, and you're going to break up your ad groups into what you think makes the most sense. So you could have a junk removal ad group, a junk pickup, and then if you really want to try to break it down by city, you could do that. You have appliance, you have commercial, you have people who are just kind of like typing in prices. Now, the reason why ClicksGeek probably put junk removal prices into its own ad group, and I'm just speculating, I'm guessing, is because they want to track the conversions for junk removal prices, because people who are price shopping, it might not convert as well. So they wanted to find out if junk removal prices converts as well. You have furniture removal, you have junk hauling, and then 24-hour junk removal. I don't know why they have a 24-hour junk removal. Let's see the keywords. There's probably some reason why they're tracking 24-hour junk removal. And then junk service. So let's just jump into one of these. You'll see if you go into one of these ad groups, it's broken up into keywords. So you have all these junk removal keywords inside of each group. And you'll see that you only do phrase match and exact match. Brackets, the little L brackets, those are exact match. And then you have the little quotes here, which is phrase match. The reason why you do that is because if you do broad match, broad is literally what it means. It means broad. So if you put junk removal broad, you might show up for garbage disposal. Like, that's how broad it is. Not even too close related to junk removal. If you use broad match, you'll show up for where can I buy garbage cans? That's how scary, dangerous broad match is, which is why every Google expert will tell you not to use broad match. Now let's go into furniture removal. We've got a whole bunch of furniture, couch removal, furniture removal company. These are all exact matches, right? Let's go back to my campaign over here. Let's go back to ad groups. We have all these ad groups that we're tracking, okay? And then you have inside campaigns, you have ads. Now, what's cool about Google is you can make as many ads as you want and rotate them until Google finds the best converting ad, okay? So inside a campaign, you have ad groups And just to make it simple, just pretend you have one ad group for now. That one ad group would have like 20 different junk removal keywords. And then that ad group full of those keywords, you would be tracking each keyword inside that ad group. So you'd see which keyword converts best, but then you can also track the overall performance of an ad group. So we can actually see how well this ad group's converting. This is just today. Ignore any metrics you see because we're going to talk about metrics and conversions and all that in a minute. Today means nothing. You never look at today as what your conversion rate is ever. So this junk removal so far today converting at 15%, but remember that ad group has 26 keywords in here, okay? Phrase match, exact match, yada, yada. And then for the campaign, you have all of your ads that will be delivered for each ad group. So let's go back to the campaign itself right here, and you'll see that we have a total of 80 different ads. Now, this is why I like ad management companies, specifically ClickSkeek, and I have seen other ad management companies, I'm not going to name them, but they don't put in this level of effort. And look, we have all kinds of variations of ads, guys. You have responsive ads, you can have just normal static ads, you can have image ads, call extensions, map extension ads. I mean, there are so many different type of ads that you can do, but obviously the most powerful ones are the ones that just, when people search junk removal, your ad shows up there, and you're rotating 80 different ads between all of those ad groups until Google finds the best performing one and it uses that one. And then Google knows when to use that one based on which keywords at what time of day and what day. So making just one ad is not a good idea. That's the ads. We have the keywords, and of course I've told you guys in my last video, you have your negative keywords. If you look at this list, there is 1900 negative keywords, which is, I mean, that's crazy. Keyword text, let's just type in free. So you'll see they've got free. And surprisingly, they have free on broad match, but that's probably because they want to make sure free doesn't show up for anything related to free. I'm sure there's text. So you can see all these negative keywords that they have. So that is kind of a breakdown of how a campaign, let me see if I'm missing anything. You have the campaign, which is comprised of ad groups. Inside your ad groups, you have your keywords. And then of course you have your campaign settings, guys, which you're gonna set like, so you have your campaign settings, which you'll set for either you have conversion tracking, clicks, whatever. Once you get data and you're actually getting conversions, you can target maximize conversions. But you can't do maximize conversions right in the beginning without any data because it has no data. That's why you start with maximize clicks to get as much data as you can, and then you can switch to maximize conversions. But we're gonna get into conversion tracking in a minute. I just kind of wanna finish going over all this over high level. We're gonna go to last month because you need a month's worth of data to really see what you're getting. Now look, if we do last month, let's go to all campaigns, overview, bam. So this is all my campaigns, my LA campaign, my Ventura campaign, my San Fernando campaign. You'll see that it averages out to be 30% conversion rate, and my cost per conversion is $49.35. If you look at today so far, you can never look at the day because it gets better throughout the week. It balances out. One conversion might cost you $100, but the next conversion might cost you 75. The next one might be 20. Google does its best to give you an average conversion rate, whatever your target CPA is, your cost per action. So an action being a phone call or an email lead. So what I'm really trying to stress to you guys is you can't freak out over the daily, sometimes even weekly results, especially in the beginning, because Google is trying to gather data to give you the best performance. And if you're not tracking conversions, the data is not really going to matter because you could be getting all the clicks in the world. But if you're getting clicks for the wrong keyword, clicks don't mean anything if those clicks, because I've seen campaigns, and I'm not going to mention whose campaigns, but I've seen campaigns where all these clicks are going and the conversion rate's like 10%. You want to at least be getting 20%. One of my buddies in Colorado, he's using ClickSkeek. His conversion rate last week was 37%. And in the peak season, he sent me a screenshot when he was peaking 50% conversion. I think the highest conversion I've seen is 35, 40%. But I'll tell you right now, 30% conversion is very good. You're trying to shoot for 20 minutes minimum, but if you can get 20% conversion rate and up to 30%, you're solid. So just remember that, guys, when you're tracking conversions. And we're gonna go to conversions now. We're gonna get to, just move on over to conversions. So you'll see that we have call extension leads, call extension, call extension. So these are all call extension. Call extension is, if you look up on here, okay, so on the phone, it would be like a little call button right under the ad. You'd see a call. So you would have your ad display and the call button, so they can call right from the Google search pages without having to click onto the landing page. So you can see how many conversions have gone through call extensions, how many people submitted form leads, and of course your standard phone call from the landing page itself. So this, yeah, it even says website. So this is where you have to set up call tracking correctly, or conversion tracking, because when you have a landing page, this is my landing page. I need to update this photo. This is what it looks like on the desktop, but as we know, most people are on their phones when they see this. So this button right here, boom, in your face. This is in your face. Nice little family photo. I don't even have this truck anymore, guys. I need to update it. But this phone number, you take the conversion tracking code that they give you. You can generate a new conversion action, and it's called Google Tag Manager, and that spits out a piece of code. And I think Instapage, they make it pretty easy, but you still need to make sure you know what you're doing. It takes a little bit of work. It will change this phone number right here to Google's phone number, and your Google number is actually beginning routing through CallRail. You guys need to use CallRail. CallRail is amazing. So you're going to use CallRail. And guys, that is conversion tracking. So you need to set up your conversion tracking for your contact form. When they submit this form right here, when that form goes through your email, that counts as a conversion, and a phone call counts as a conversion. Now, email forms. I would say 30% of people submit emails, 70% call. It might even some days be 50-50, but a good amount of people email. My guys, they have the Gmail box open. They're refreshing every it refreshes on its own, but I have them check that tab constantly and immediately send out a text saying, hey, we got your submission. And email leads convert, like web form, email leads convert. So you need to make sure you track the contact form and the phone number. So when you do build out your campaigns, guys, let's go to Ventura campaign. You will be able to set up your locations, and I'll just show you what it looks like so you guys can kind of see how we do it, how ClickSkeek sets it up. You'll actually notice that you have your locations you can set, and then you have excluded locations. You'll see the radius that you can set, but you can also exclude locations. Honestly, I need to probably exclude all of this out here because sometimes I'd be getting out of service calls. But even if you exclude a location, it's never perfect, but it will help prevent a lot of unnecessary calls, because you might have people that were recently in California and then they go back to Wyoming, they Google junk removal in Wyoming, and their phone, for whatever reason, still thinks like, hey, maybe they're looking for the LA ads will pop up, and you'll get calls from a different state. That's why they put these exclusion tags in every single state, or exclusion locations in every single state, to reduce you getting calls that you don't want. It's not perfect, and I promise you, you're still gonna get calls outside of this bubble all the time. It's not perfect, but it definitely helps. And then I also mentioned, guys, your ad schedule. See, I run mine 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., but you want to run your ads. Yep, it's Monday and Tuesday, and then Saturday is pretty busy. Yep. So Monday and Tuesdays, I always say, is the busiest. But yeah, for some reason, Mondays is the busiest. Anyways, run your ads at a realistic time that people would actually be willing to pick up the phone and call, and that you'll be available. So I would recommend like 9 to 5. Honestly, I'm thinking about adjusting my hours too, but I like the idea of even running them 24/7, because people might Google it late at night, and then they'll find you and submit an email lead at 2 a.m. or maybe they'll find you and then call you the next day. So I'm probably soon gonna turn my ads to 24/7 and see how that does. But you don't want to do that in the beginning. 9 to 5 every day if you can work every day, even weekends, because weekends you could land a $5,000 job. That's the crazy thing about junk removal, is you never know when you're going to get that big job. So we went over campaigns. So landing page, Instapage. So Instapage, guys, I can almost guarantee you guys that this template is in Instapage. It might not be a template. I'm not quite sure. I don't remember. It's been a while, but they have lots of templates. But you do not want to send people to your homepage. You're going to confuse them. The whole idea of getting the best conversion rate is by giving them the easiest call to action. We get rid of your junk, blah, blah, blah. In your area, here's some photos, here's my phone number, call me. You don't want to send them to a website where there's 50 different menus like this. This is all for SEO, right? Just, to try to show up for all these search terms. If I were to send them to this homepage, yes, there's a book now button. Yes, there's a contact us, but this is too complicated. You don't want to confuse them with all kinds of stuff. You want them just to be like, bam, bam, thank you, ma'am. So Instapage is great. They integrate with the Google Tag Manager pretty easily. They make it fairly straightforward to do conversion tracking. I definitely recommend Instapage. Let me see what else we can see on here. Let's see if they have any examples. Their landing page builder. Let's see. Let's see what integrations they have. Oh, you can integrate with MailChimp, your CRM. So they probably use Zapier. Oh, Google Tag Manager, Google Ads, CallRail. I mean, they've got it all, guys. But anyways, they have Zapier, so you can do a lot of custom stuff using Zapier if you want to send it to a spreadsheet, whatever you want to do. And I hope that gives you guys so that you could see kind of the inside of my Google Ads. Let's see. Conversions. See, look at that. Appliance removal. 4 divided by 15, 26% conversion. 4 conversions. I mean, it's not obviously as popular as junk removal, but it's something. Furniture removal, 5 conversions. Nobody's searching commercial. Junk hauling. Junk removal is obviously the most popular one, but that's just in my Ventura campaign. So I think there's only one thing left to go over, and that is going to be the keyword planner. I'm not going to go into too much detail here because my next video on SEO and keyword research is going to include this tool. But I just wanted to show you guys, if you haven't set up a Google Ads account yet, this is a perfect reason to set it up and at least start playing with this get search volume forecast and discovering. Let's actually try this discover. Let's see what kind of keywords it gives us. So this is in the United States. Look at that. Year over year change, 50% year over year. Really quick, Google Trends. If you type in junk removal, look at it over the past 5 years. Look at the growth. Look at the past, ever since Google Trends must have started, but look at the growth. It always dies down in the wintertime. Goes up, goes down, and then it goes back up. Can't wait for March and April. But anyways, you can see that junk removal is growing. I like to consider it a luxury service because people who can't afford wouldn't pay for somebody else to get rid of their stuff. They'd figure out a way to do it on their own or have their friends help, but they'd rather just pay you to do it. This is an industry that not everybody knows, and I'm hoping that it just keeps getting bigger and bigger because we're going to get more business the more people that find out about junk removal. But so you can use this keyword discovery tool, but we're going to go over this way more in depth in another video. But let's see. So they'll give you some keyword ideas of what people are searching. Look at that. 1-800-GOT-JUNK be getting tons. And I'm actually going to be running a campaign against 1-800-GOT-JUNK soon, just to kind of see how it does. Making my ads show up and compete against them and, try a couple different ad copies. But you can mess with this tool, but that's not the one that I wanted to show you. The one I wanted to show you is search volume and forecast. So we're going to try junk removal. Just junk removal. There's a bunch of other keywords people type in, but junk removal is definitely the most obvious popular one. And I'm actually curious because it's been such a long time. Let's type in Ventura County, and you guys can do this to do some market research for your county, your areas that you want to serve. So let's say you wanted to serve just a few certain cities, use this tool. So Ventura County. This is where I started. I served all of this area. You can go from Thousand Oaks all the way up to here in an hour, right? That's a 1-hour drive. So I served Ventura County when first starting, and it wasn't at 480 monthly searches. So it's definitely grown in the last year, because when I searched this up a year ago on the keyword tool, when I first got in this business over a year ago now, I think this was like in the high 200s or 300s. So it definitely grew in search volume. But you can use this tool, guys, to get an idea of junk hauling, junk pickup, junk removal service, junk hauling service, furniture removal, and let's add those keywords. Okay, so junk removal by far is the most popular, but you can do this and see, like, let's just try Los Angeles. We're gonna get rid of, and you'll see there is, oh man, I mean, you add these together, it's like what? The other one was 500, 600 total. With all those combined, we're at over 3,000. So 3,000, I mean, five times the search volume in LA. You know, it just goes to show how much bigger and how much more search volume for junk removal there is. And don't take this like to the T, because you're going to be doing, this is just people who are searching junk removal. And we don't even know like the average monthly searches. Like even if yours comes in at 100 or 200, I started in the 200s. Ventura was in the 200s and I did great. I did Thumbtack, I did Craigslist, and I did Google Ads. So if you have a lower population area, that just means you're gonna have to do more traditional marketing using other forms of advertising on top of Google Ads, and you're gonna have to just launch more locations in different cities, which is completely fine. You might not have one big clusterfuck like I did, but the keyword planner tool, under tools, all the way over here, keyword planner tool is a very powerful tool. You can do a little bit of market research and kind of see how things are in your area. I think Google Trends, let's actually check Google Trends one more time to past 30 days. Let's see how far it lets you break this down. Can you do? You might only be able to do California. I thought you could break it down by city. Can you break it down even more? Okay, we can do Los Angeles. Yeah, so you can break it down by city. So this isn't the search volume, guys. This is the interest. A score of 0 means there was not enough data. A score, okay, so that's good, cool. So take these tools with a grain of salt. If your data doesn't come back as strong, it doesn't mean there's no business at all. Use these tools to do market research and, you know, just play around with them. And just realize that, you know, I'm in a much higher population area than you might be. But these tools are very powerful, and please pay attention for the next video, because I'm going to be going over keyword research on keywords that you should rank for, if you're going to hire some SEO guys, and then just how to do general market and keyword research using 3 to 5 different tools so you can kind of know what's up. All right, guys, I hope that deep dive helped. And however much I was talking before this video, if you watched all that and now you watched all this, you should have a fairly good grasp of how Google Ads work, what to expect. And like I told you guys, do not worry about today. It's going to balance out, especially in the beginning. You need a month or 2 of data, especially if your budget's low. You're going to need 2 to 3 months, okay, for your ads to figure things out, because you're not getting enough data. You're not getting enough clicks or conversions for Google to do anything for you. The more money you spend, the faster you can get Google conversion data. And then the faster you get conversion data, they still need a month of conversions. Google can then recalibrate you. Pretty soon, you'll just be smooth sailing. That's why I strongly recommend, if you're going to get into Google Ads, to make sure you put the money aside, to have a month or 2 aside if you can. If you're like me, you're just gonna dive in and you're gonna hope for the best. You're gonna either build your own campaign or you're gonna hire a company. And if you do decide to use ClickSkeek, you're not going to be able to use them if you're in LA, because they're committed to me already in LA and in Ventura, but all the other cities and states. If you tell them Andrew from Jedi sent you, you get like $300 off. I still stand by ClickSkeek. They're awesome. I strongly suggest having a professional manage your Google Ads. And if you want to do all this yourself and learn it, I'm going to put a bunch of videos in the video description below on how to build your own campaigns, set up your landing page, do conversion tracking, writing ad copy, all of that stuff. So check the video description. And guys, as always, toodles.